Hey, so I'm on the roof. Anyways, so the first step, of course, is to completely clean out your pupil. And this first example is what you should not do. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little step-by-step thing on what I think people generally do. Okay, my bad. Alright, so they completely clean out their eye, which is correct. It's just completely fine. But they then select it and then they go over and grab the airbrush, which I don't have anything against the airbrush, but it's the colors they use. I notice a lot of people use like this completely desaturated color, and it just creates a really ugly look because, you know, there's a difference between lightness, darkness, and desaturation. Like, you can have a darker color without making it look all like gray and ugly, you know? Like, my god. So anyways, then what a lot of people do is they usually like blur the inside, but since I'm here, I'm just gonna use the airbrush to create like a blurry little thing all around, because I noticed that most people's edits aren't actually as clean as I was first making it. What I do is I reference off of like a lot of older edits and stuff. Some people draw pupils, but others don't. I notice most of them don't. And then what you could do is you grab the magic wand, but oh no, it's going onto the skin, so you just lower the strength until it only selects the sclera, the white of the eye. Anyways, and you could choose a dark purple. You know, I'm probably gonna go darker than this. So an even darker purple, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. Constantly using the airbrush, especially on a style like this that has very thick line art, it doesn't look like it blends well at all, and it looks very dead and ew. Again, this is my opinion, and if you want to create your art like this and you think it looks good because you have bad taste, no, I was kidding. If you think it looks good because you're just so unique, if you think it looks good, then that's completely fine, you know? But also, I'm just creating eyelashes. I like to put on force fade because it helps create like cleaner eyelashes and stuff. What a lot of people do is they just create like a lot of spiky kind of eyelashes, which with gacha it's a very simple style, especially when people edit right onto the edit and they don't create their own line art, and then they decide to go all detailed with the eyelashes. It just looks really weird. So yeah, anyways, selecting the eyes, well, the eyelash areas and stuff. And now I'm gonna get black because I notice a lot of people keep it as black. I forgot to change my edit. I mean, not my edit, my character's colors and stuff. But yeah. Anyways. So then getting like a lighter color and brushing it on the ends. There's nothing wrong with this step, but there's just so much that they missed. And then getting like a really tiny brush and just creating these. I'm using Dip Pen Soft because it kind of like just tapers at the ends, and they create these lines above, and things don't look very smooth, they look very amateur. Again, this doesn't mean your art's bad, it's just very amateur. So now I'm gonna show you the proper way. Sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna show you the better way. First, you know, of course, clean out your eye. I like to use the bucket tool because, well, it cleans things out like 10 million times faster. Alrighty, anyways, so then what I'd like to do is I like to kind of thin the lines a little bit. I like to draw over the lines and thin them out because it just makes things look a bit more detailed in a way, but it takes such little effort. Anyways, so now I'm just selecting the eye. It's just a lot of trial and error using the magic wand tool, and it's completely fine. You just have to adjust your strength again and again, so yeah, you know. Anyways, I like to use a saturated color on the eyelashes, and the reason for saturated colors is because it doesn't make things look dead, okay? Anyways, and now here I am. I'm using Dip Pen Soft, and I'm just kind of creating those lights that you saw in the other edit, except they're much more together and they're a lighter color, and then I'm blurring the ends. The reason why I don't want to use white and why I want to use a lighter red is because I don't want it to pop out that much, but I still want it to be visible. Anyways, now I'm using a darker red color and I'm going at the bottom of the eyelashes because it creates a clearer division between the iris, and I think it just looks better this way. You don't need to do this step, but I just think it's a bit better. Anyways, I'm selecting the iris, and now I'm selecting the color, and I'm going down on the color wheel to an orangish color. Oh, but her eyes are supposed to be yellow. Shh. Let me do my thing. So using Dip Pen Soft. Okay, now I moved over to a, you can use Dip Pen Soft or you can use a airbrush. But using an airbrush, I create the yellow at the bottom. Because you can't really create darker colors in yellow without desaturating it, which is why you go closer towards the oranges and reds when you make a darker color. And I'm keeping everything to like a warm color, because that's the character's color palettes. Anyways, now I'm creating a big shadow over the iris, kind of like a third of the eye, and I'm creating these big chunks, which are like supposed to mimic the lashes, like the eyelashes, because like a shadow on the eyelashes, not just that she has eyelashes on her eyes. That'd be super fucking weird. Anyways. So now I'm just creating these little pupils. I like the star pupils, not star, diamond pupils. Or stars, you know, I kind of like your regular pupils. It looks a bit cooler. Anyways, you can make circles if you want by like this. I go back and forth to make sure that they're the same and that they're not like, you know, uneven. Ooh, anyway, somebody is calling me. Give me a second. Hey, yo, I'm back. Anyways, so I'm just creating an outline and I'm using this super easy stroke outer filter because, you know, who would like to draw it on? There's a filter that can do that. I honestly wish Procreate had something like that, but it doesn't. Anyways, I'm just cleaning up that little part that was still yellow. And now I'm getting a lighter color. I'm using an airbrush and I am just going on to this part up here. So it's kind of like, oh, it's shining through at the top kind of look. And now I am using the same color as what the base originally was, and I'm creating this kind of like hashtag thing because it's like more light. And I make sure not to make it completely flat, and I make it slightly on like a curve. That way it shows you that the eye is three-dimensional. Anyways, now I'm just getting this nice orange color here, and I am just airbrushing it on. And now I'm just creating these little lines. It's not necessary. You could also do it with a lighter color, and honestly I think that looks better. Now I'm using a darker color and going over the pupil again because I just feel like there needs to be a little more contrast so the pupil can be the darkest part of the eye. Anyways, moving on. Just going over the top of the eyelash and just going back and forth and color dropping the colors that are already there because it kind of just creates this more like three-dimensional painty look. Anyways, also you saw that I created like these little highlights right here. I feel like when you do highlights right above the pupil, it makes this kind of cute look. Yeah, anyways, just creating little highlights wherever I find fitting. And I'm going underneath all the editing I just did and going onto the white part, the skull area. And I'm using like a warm gray color. And then I'm using a pink that's like a surface scattering. And now I am going to create tiny little eyelashes. I like to have force fade on because it helps me create like sharper lines at the end. And I just try to keep it simple because I know that the art style already is quite simple, as you can see with like the thick lines and everything. So I want to work with the gacha style. I don't want to work against it. I want it to look like it matches. And I think that's what a lot of people miss when they try to make their gacha edits look realistic without like already creating their own line art. It looks really weird, to say the least. Anyways, now I am using the blur tool just to blur the outside lines. And yeah, now I'm just selecting the skin, selecting the color, getting a more saturated pinkish version. And now I'm just using an airbrush to just kind of like tap some blush on underneath the eyes, just to help bring the eyes out a little more. And I feel like it helps it just look a bit more detailed, look prettier, and kind of tie it together with the rest of the drawing. Well, the rest of the edit. I didn't draw this. Anyways, now I'm just making it a little more faded because I felt like it was a bit too abrupt. So yeah, making a new layer, using an overlay, and now I'm picking a nice warm color, and I'm using airbrush triangle, and now I'm just brushing it onto the eyes because it creates this nice soft glowy effect. Then I'm going in with the yellow, and you could just test out other colors, but I'd recommend you stay to something that fits your color palette. I'm working with something that is very warm. There's a lizard outside my window, cool. Anyways, so now I'm using an eraser just to erase some of the glowing parts, just to keep some of that contrast. Now I just created a new layer, and I'm just selecting a darker version of the skin color just so that I can color the eyelids in. And yeah. So thank you everybody for watching, and look at this cute little animation. See, aren't I such an amazing artist and animator? Anyways, thank you so much everybody for watching this tutorial. Leave a like, subscribe, and thank you. Alright, take care everyone, and see ya.